Hey guys, Lancer here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks again for joining me while we do an MTG price check for Standard, Modern, Legacy, and Vintage. Mostly focused around Commander cards because that's what I'm interested in. I'm going to pick a couple of key ones from all of these and just see what they've been doing for the last couple of weeks to the last couple of days. So starting off with the weekly change for Standard, we got Chromatic Ori, Kel, Alron's Epiphany, Tharsia's Deep Dwelling, Vorinclex all moving up by a decent amount. Chromatic Ori is itself moving by 10% and it's now sitting around about $16. Kel is moving up by 13% and sitting at 10. The Epiphany is sitting around about $7.25, moving by 20%. Tharsia's Deep Dwelling, $14, moving by 9%. And Vorinclex gaining by another 3%, sitting at $40, the most expensive card in this set. Ugin the Spirit Dragon is still starting to move up as well, now sitting at $26. And it is important to remember that while these cards might be picked up in Modern, very unlikely, there are actually some Modern movers going around. Very, very interesting. So, the biggest fallers are obviously Uro, because he is still banned. Valky, I wonder why, but that's only a 5% drop, $23. Very expensive card already. Oko is still dropping. Goldspan's Dragon is now moving down by 4%, sitting at $21. I want that card. And Great Henge is sadly still sitting at $50, only dropping by 2%. Mangara the Diplomat has dropped by 9% as well. Sorry, he has dropped by 6%, sitting at $9. But I prefer the Great Henge right now as the biggest one that I want to see either drop by a bit more so I can pick it up, or see what happens if it ever does come back again. So Kel has increased by a decent amount in the last couple of weeks. So he's actually sat the lowest point was $7.06, and now he's sitting at $10.20. So there's obviously some demand for a card like this, and it's most likely going to be in Commander. He is a good card. We'll have to see what he can do. Now, Alron's Epiphany, I'm pretty sure that there was people talking about buying this out on MTG Finance. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a calculated buyout at this point, because it was sitting at $2.50 on the 7th of February to $2.90 about 2 weeks after that, and now it started moving back up. I also think that even if this is going to be a great commander card, it is one of those times where these packs are still being opened. So the only thing I can think about is if there is no demand for these packs and no one's opening them, then it makes sense because the card itself might actually increase in price at that point. But right now, I think there is actually quite a few packs being opened, but you guys can let me know. Chromatic Ori. So this card has been moving up pretty aggressively in the last couple of weeks, but from this December 20th, this has been a consistent move up, sitting around about $11 now, almost 16. It is in a lot of commander decks, and it seems to be currently in one standard deck, Tibalt's Trickery. I'll have to check that out, but right now, it's a decent card in commander. Uro's Titan, it is still dropping. I wouldn't worry too much about this card. There's a chance that it might drop a bit further. But if you guys want to pick it up for commander, maybe find out what the base is. These guys were harder. The Titans were harder to get than a lot of other mythics in that set. I remember that very clearly. So, moving on to modern, the most interesting stuff that's been happening. So the dailies are Sword of Fire and Ice moving up by 6% to $52. Liliana of the Whale moving up $70 to $70, so 3% change. For Delcan Owry, which is a commander card, $44.49, moving up by 3%. And Mind Slicer sitting at $28.49, which I'm pretty sure is a commander card, sitting at 6%. Selective Memory feels like a buyout, moving by 238%. That doesn't sound right at all. But let's go to the weekly change where things make a bit more sense. Liliana of the Veil, there is a Innistrad version of her, which is I think the one I have, now sitting at $78.49. When I made that video about what modern cards are going up, I did not expect her to move up this fast, and I kind of regret that. But the thing is, she is now moving up by 16%. She moved up 16% in 1 week. This is very highly because of Tarmogoyf being spoiled in Time Spiral Remastered, meaning that there is a very high chance that now you can build a Jund deck for a bit cheaper than you could in the past. I don't know why it makes such a big difference now, but apparently it's a big difference now. Or maybe enough people are caught on that a lot of the influencers are starting to say that modern has to or can come back. But we'll have to see what Modern Horizons 2 does with that. The next thing would be Shapesharer, which is now moving up by 55% to $17.85. Mind Slicer, I already said it, but it actually moved up 29% this entire week. The last catch was just the daily, so it's still moving up. Imp's Mischief, which I have not paid attention to at all, but it is moving up to $31.30, moving up 24%, and Doubling Season a Commander card. Unfortunate, which means the Doubling Season right now is sitting at $60. Stoneforge Mystic is moving up to $35.80 and 18%, which is insane. Let's get to it. So, nothing too crazy with Swords of Fire and Ice. This card has been reprinted a few times. It has dropped by quite a decent amount in October 19, and it has been dropping since. Right now, it seems to have stabilized, but I wouldn't really call this a move up by any large amount. Shapesharer, once again, this card has spiked like crazy in the last couple of days, ever since around about 1st of March. I couldn't go back even earlier. 26th of February to now would be a price increase of more than 100%, so almost 150%. Mind Slicer, once again, this card has been moving up quite aggressively. For some reason, it looks kind of similar to like a reserve list one, but starting at 2018. Maybe it did do the same thing. It kind of did do the same thing as a reserve list card. That's strange. Didn't pay attention to the graph, but it is weirdly moving in sync with when stimulus is being announced or when something becomes a bit easier for the economy to swallow. So that's a really weird way to look at it. But right now, it's ever since the 1st of March, it's moved up from $14 to almost $28. So that's a 100% gain since the 1st of March, which is 11 days ago. I have one or two of those, but I have no idea what to do with them. They're a really painful card to put in any commander deck. Liliana the Whale. So she has actually moved up a decent amount. If you pull back the graph, you can actually see that she's moved up from $56 average to around about $70 average. That is a gain of almost. Actually, wait. Do I need to do some maths? I think it's pretty much 28 or 20 something percent, 25% in the last couple of days. So once again, this move started exactly on the 1st of March. Maybe I need to go and dig some history and find out what videos or what news came out on the 1st of March that spun these modern cards around to make sure that they were going back up again. Ulamog the Infinite Gyre has dropped down in price at last from $99 to $90. Still way above where he was just a couple of weeks ago. And I feel like he is going to be hard to pick up at this price right now. We'll have to see what happens with him and if he gets a reprint. It depends on what you're looking for. Commander staples and all that, like they're easy money for Wizards of the Coast. So don't hold your breath on the fact that they're going to try to protect those unless they actually come out with some decent news on that. Jace the Mind Sculptor, he is still dropping. He gained a bit last week to $75, but now he's sitting at $70. There's a chance that he might pick up again depending on what cards are supported in the next couple of decks and formats, especially for Modern. But once again, it really does. A lot of people should probably have the wait and see approach for what's happening for Modern Horizons 2. Doubling Season, Commander Staple has been moving up very aggressively, and this is probably since Vorinclex was spoiled. I wouldn't be surprised because the lowest that you could get Doubling Season was for around about $43 just a couple of months ago. And now it's sitting around about $60. I wouldn't be too sure exactly what pushed this card, but I would not be surprised if Vorinclex and now a rumor about Strixhaven's +1/+1 counter theme and maybe some token theme is pushing a card like Doubling Season and all of the other doublers. Yeah. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at Legacy. I just want to make sure that I'm covering it this all. So looking at Legacy, we see some really big movers as well. Land Equilibrium moving up by 162%, Mana Flare moving up by 57%, Rasputin moving up by 26%, and that's all daily. Moat has moved up by $3,432 as a move of 64% in 1 week. Badlands from Unlimited is now starting to move up compared to what Revised was doing, so I guess that's a way to catch it up to the price that it's probably meant to be, gaining 78%. Land Equilibrium, 142%. Is that all? Yeah, that's pretty much all happened in 1 day. Tabernacle moving up by 4%, but that's a huge gain. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. $1,333. So I feel like a lot of a guy's created a very, very big card, moving up by $143.99 in 1 week. So there are going to be some cards that are going to be hard to grab. You can have a look at the top losers. So it looks like Tropical Islands dropped down by 32%, but a lot of these were manipulated. Like I saw price jumps. I didn't see anything that was easy to follow. And obviously Revised would have been the better one, but Revised is very slow moving even now. A lot of people are still holding on to a lot of the Revised stuff. So I'm going to cover that in the next video. One thing I wanted to quickly cover was what's been happening to the market in the last couple of weeks and months that doesn't get caught by the movers in these kinds of websites unless you actually go and look for these commander staples or cards in modern. Twilight Prophet has been moving up very consistently from $18 to the middle of last year. In fact, if you can go back far enough, this card has not stopped moving up. But ever since January 19th, it's pretty much just gone straight up in price, sitting around about $23 in January and now $34. So very impressive move. $26 on TCG. I'm not too sure if this card is going to be valuable at that price, but it depends on what kind of decks you have. Maybe there's some news about a vampire, but I mean, Innistrad is going to come out in the end of this year, so that's a head start. Uh, Azuri, Renegade Leader, Elf Tribal, obviously with the new Elf Commander deck, which is actually really good. I think a lot of these Elves that haven't been reprinted yet are going to keep spiking up. There's a chance that they might turn up in Modern Horizons too, depending on what Wizards of the Coast does. Shieldred has slightly moved up. I only had her in here because she has been moving up a bit. She was $19.85 at some point in the middle of the year, start of this year, and now she's sitting around about $23. Noble Hierarch. So this is the ones that I'm paying attention to for modern. I'm going to see if Noble Hierarch moves up, then modern is probably coming back. Because while she is a perfectly fine card in a lot of other, commander, she's mostly best in, mostly best in modern. So for $13 now and $15, $16, we'll have to see what happens. Tarmogoyf had a slight bump this week, but it makes no sense. I feel like we should probably wait and see for Tarmogoyf and see if he actually drops down in price after the reprint from Time Spiral Remastered. Damnation keeping up with its floor price. The average was sitting at $50. The market was putting it down for $15. They're starting to meet in the middle now. But Damnation being reprinted, it brings up another issue, which is Secret Lairs Damnation has been dropping down in price, most likely because it's Pringles in the first place. And secondly, now it's getting a new reprint at Mythic. It is also important to remember that this is at Mythic, this Damnation. And this Damnation, which is from Modern Masters 2017, was a rare. So the fact that it's dropping down in price probably doesn't make too much sense. The Mythic will be harder to get, which means that you all have to depend on how much you actually get out of them. Wizards of the Coast maths, they don't have to let us know, I'm pretty sure, of what the chances of these pulls are. You pretty much have to just work it out yourself. I'm sure someone in the game knows what the chances are, but you yourself would have to just say, how many packs do I want to open up a Damnation, and then decide on the price. Solomon's Legacy has been dropping a bit from its manipulated price, but the average is still ticking up, which means the TCG is still selling them for $11. I remember seeing this card for about $3 a while back, so I'm not too sure if that's worth it. You can get it. You can probably get a decent copy version. It lightly played for $13, near mint for $16. It's just a very limited card. You're going to get it for pretty much the collectability. Selective Memory, we covered this card, I'm pretty sure, before, but this card has been moving up like crazy in the last couple of days. And that's only because things are actually pretty crazy right now. I wish I could say another word, but it's moved up 100% in the last day. Selective Memory can still be bought for 30 cents, but so careful what you're buying. There's a high chance that it is still being very highly manipulated. And one that I wanted to cover at the very end, but I guess now is a good time. I got this card for around about $3. It's from Legends. It was not on the reserve list, I'm pretty sure, which means that if the Italian copies are selling for this, I'm pretty sure I saw this on sale. Sorry, its market price was sitting around about $50, which is quite impressive. So it's not just reserve list Legends cards that are moving this week. It is all Legends cards. Their rarity matters, but it's Legends cards and not the reserve list that's truly moving the market. And I'm not too sure. You guys can let me know in the comments if that makes sense. In my mind, I think reserve list cards should have a huge premium on just old cards. Old cards are one thing, but reserve list cards are another thing. In my mind, they should hold more premium. Elvis Champion, I'm pretty sure we covered her as well. She is probably not going to be reprinted unless maybe Modern Horizons 2. She's going up mainly because of the Elf deck. You can get her for $30 on TCG, which is insane. That's insane, actually. Gaia Sage, I'm pretty sure this card has got a slight bump in the last couple of weeks, but it is moving up again, most likely because of Strixhaven and +1/+1 support. Aurelia, the War Leader, amazing Angel Commander, Angel in a Commander deck. She is very much a powerful card, and she has not been printed in a long time. She has been moving up since 2020 and is now almost triple the price or double the price that she was before. So $7.50 and now sitting at $17. Essence Flux, once again, I feel like this is a buyout from someone that's speculating with +1/+1 counters. Jumpstart didn't get that many prints anyways, so you can easily manipulate that market, I bet, if you bought enough of these. But the fact is, it does say that if it's a spirit, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So they are maybe assuming that there's a lot of chances for there to be some kind of interest for a +1/+1 spirit stack. I don't know, it's a weird one. Serpent of Yawning Depths, which was put into, doesn't even say when it was printed, but I'm pretty sure it was in that starter deck or something. So not a very impressive card. It was sitting around about $1.40 for a long time. It is jumped up by almost $10.48, so that's a gain of almost 1,000%. Good luck. That's even better than a lot of stocks that have been moving up. Hierarchs, God of Victory, has been moving up very rapidly in the last couple of days. Starting from January 18th, this card has moved from $9.82 to about $13.44. And I feel like it might continue to move up as well. And last, Morgas God of Slaughter. This card has been very much a powerhouse in Commander and has been consistently moving up from January as well. $7.22 to now $16 to $17. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll cover the reserve list in the next video. Have fun and take care.